I believe AI will be bigger than the invention of the internet, the invention of the cloud. I believe this technology shift is going to be bigger than all of those. And what it's going to drive this industry towards is automation.
Mike DeCesare is the president at Abnormal AI. Join us here on the ground in San Francisco. Really grateful for a few minutes of your time. So as you and I were just talking about, the name is now once again Abnormal AI. What led to that decision?
That is correct. That's actually where we started when we founded the company back in 2018. Using the name Abnormal AI felt a little bit too futuristic, since at that point, AI was more of a concept than reality. But it's kind of going back to our roots. And as you'll see at this conference, AI is changing all aspects of IT, and cybersecurity is not immune from that. So it's kind of a returning to our roots.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the human risk in terms of email security component of what you and your colleagues at Abnormal AI do. Why is the email security component at the forefront of your work day to day?
If you look at the kind of biggest and most successful companies in cybersecurity, take CrowdStrike, right? Like, they are the predominant product for the endpoint. They do far more than that, but in their customers predominantly, they get their kind of source of intelligence from the endpoint. If you look at Palo Alto, one of the other most successful companies here, their source of revenue originally and their kind of biggest trust point is network traffic. They see more of that than anybody else. The reason we started with email is that email is the most ubiquitous application on the planet. Over half of the human beings that live on this planet have an email account. And it has become the attack vector that the bad folks have come after correspondingly. But we picked email because we believed it was the richest set of data about human beings, and that the same way that CrowdStrike protects the endpoints and Palo Alto protects the firewalls, we see Abnormal as the ones that are going to help protect the people themselves.
And how would you say today's email security landscape compares to what legacy vendors offer in the space?
The legacy players that still exist in today's market started when email was on-prem, and therefore email security was on-prem. And what's happened in the last 5 years is Google and Microsoft have moved email to the cloud, but the security of email is still serviced by those same companies that originally were on-prem. The biggest difference between us and the historical gateway providers is the gateways do not have context of who the email is going to. Abnormal is a behavioral product. We plug in through the APIs of the cloud infrastructure, and we build a unique behavioral baseline of every human being or employee that's under management of the companies that we service. So when you know when somebody emails, who they email, how many emails they're on, what Slack channels they're on, when they're in Zoom meetings, when you have that level of context about people, it's much easier to understand if that email is actually real or if it's something that could be, sent from a bad actor.
Mike, I know that even just this week, you got a few new AI-driven solutions and new announcements. So let's run through a few of these. AI phishing coach and AI data analyst. What can people expect, and what should people know if they're hearing about those announcements for the first time?
The first thing is, this entire conference, what we're going to hear about is ways that creative companies have figured out how to use AI to improve their products. It's going to change. I believe AI will be bigger than the invention of the internet, the invention of the cloud. I believe this technology shift is going to be bigger than all of those. And what it's going to drive this industry towards is automation. Security is built as an industry that has human beings at keyboards doing things, looking at lists, making decisions, and the speed of the attacks is making that model have to rethink itself. Because if even the best companies have an hour response time if one of their employees has something happen, in an AI world where an attack can get in and out in 5 minutes, that will not be sufficient. So the two use cases that you brought up, we have 2 AI agents that we are introducing this week. Our AI phishing coach is our entrance into the world of security awareness and training. Unlike the historical or legacy solutions that have static videos and dated content, static content, the way that we built our product, since it builds off of our email security product, is every human being in the company who uses our product has a unique security awareness training curriculum built for them based off the emails they have uniquely clicked on that got past them, that were bad. So the content can be so much more tailored in its approach to individuals. And we think that's going to be pretty game-changing, because most people, they go through security awareness training as a checkbox to tell their compliance team that they've completed it. We now believe, by presenting real examples back to people and saying, hey, you clicked on this, here's the reason you shouldn't have, here's what you should have noticed, and this is all being done by AI. There's no human beings involved. So the employee can interact with that agent. So that's agent number one. We think that is going to be very disruptive to this marketplace that has also been a little bit dated and static for the last 10 years or so. And then AI Data Analyst is a free upgrade that all of our customers get. And now if you use Abnormal's product and you have a board presentation, you can just go to Abby, our AI concierge, and you can say, hey, Abby, I've got a board presentation. I need just give me a presentation that will be less than 3 slides and show the value of Abnormal. And it will take all the real data of our product and we'll be able to build that in real time for customers. We think that's going to help a lot.
Incredible. Well, congratulations on the launch and all the news this week. Finally, while I have you, despite all of those announcements and the things you're thrilled to talk about while you're here in San Francisco, what is next for Abnormal AI? Give us a peek under the hood for just the next few months.
You know, we've seen unprecedented growth at such a young age as a company that we still have lots of the market that we have to expand to. We just got FedRAMP. We're one of the fastest companies ever to get FedRAMP approval, so that now opens up the door for us to sell to the US government. That's a really big market that we're going to be going after. This year we open up Germany, Japan, and France as full localized markets there as well. So there's be a little bit of that where we're kind of catching up and making sure that we're in every place that customers want to do business with us. And you know, we are probably on the upper 1% of all companies on how fast we have pivoted the ability for us to build product with AI. AI is changing the game on how fast companies are going to be able to innovate and build technology. And we believe that we're going to be in a place where we can iterate and release products at a much faster pace than we have historically and that the market has. So expect big things from Abnormal over this next few years.
Mike DeCesare is the president at Abnormal AI. Join us here in San Francisco. Congratulations and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate having me.